The Polygamist. This is my review of the final episodes of this great streaming show on Netflix. I left off at 14 and I basically started again at 15. It was so much on the first set of shows. It is really, really good. That's my favorite phrase, really. But it was. And I started watching 15 through 19. And so I had to stop. And it was so good on the first set of 10. And I love the way they split these shows up into almost like 20 or 30 minute shows. And they come in with a bang on all of them, and they leave out with a bang on all of them. And so we'll talk about first, starting here. We're going to go through all and the last. So I went through 15 and 19 and stopped. So here's what happened. The brothers and sisters were crying. Joyce was arrested, and she was wearing the bonnet on her head on that, you know, that's that black girl fashion at home, wear your bonnet. And this is the one where she tried to knock off Jonas. And so you'll have to watch that on episode 15 to know how that happened. And then on episode 16, they switched to the hospital. And I got here Jonasi and Joyce and Menzies' son, I think. There's violence in this episode, in episode 16. And Jonas, the star of the show, all of them are stars. Jonas had to go to the hospital because of the borax that was accidentally, or no, it wasn't accidental. She tried to knock him off. He went to the hospital. The man, this is a powerful family, so the man who is the doctor came up and told us that, well, you know, she said he wasn't feeling good. He basically came up to her and told her that he knows that she tried to knock him off. And then what she did, she told him to hold on. She went and got one of those envelopes full of money and paid off the doctor. Well, they told him and everybody else that it was just a stroke. 16 is a fantastic episode too. And then 17, Jonas now physically violent with his women. And this was hard to watch because he hadn't been using that type of situation with these ladies like that. This episode, it showed his greedy, crazy personality that you really didn't see. I thought he was just like probably an irresistible Don Juan to these women, but this man is not a extremely good looking man. I mean, he's got a body like mine, and I mean, it's just, he's got a little waist and heaviness going on about him, but it's his personality and his charm that makes these women fall for him. He really was a Don Juan when it comes to loving. But this episode, they got violent on it. It was kind of rough to watch because he turned to a different personality then. And 17 episode, it continues. Jonas is now physically violent, and then Matipa leaves after experiencing his violence. Matipa is the one that had the twins, so she decided to leave and she left her children with Joyce. Okay? And just trust me, this is just much more complicated and detailed than what I'm saying. These people needed an award because they really acted themselves so good. They did such a good job. And though Matipa leaves, and then on 18, because Jonas's brother sides with Joyce, Jonas fires his brother from the company, who's worked there for years. And so they fired him. And we'll just move on to 19 because there's too much in these episodes to really tell you it all. It's like a nuance. It's just stuff. It's so well written that it's just like real life. And Lindani, the young lady that the son liked and found his dad enjoying the pleasures of Lindani in a club somewhere. Lindani is the one that Jonas has focused on now. And Lindani, after he's been in the hospital, Lindani takes him out of the hospital. And then the final episode started with 20, 21, and 22. This is where it just gets even more kind of odd. You think that they wouldn't, that they would calm down. It looks like they're calming down. They've done so much stuff in the other episodes. Like, what else can they do? Hold on. They can do a lot more. On 21, episode 21, it opens with memories. And I'm not really sure what happened off that. We're going to skip 21. We're going to move to 22 because it starts to get a little bit crazy. The end. This is where I'm not going to tell you everything because you got to see it yourself. And those of you that know that this, I call this the end. And I might as well say it's a funeral showdown. Essie and Joyce battle from the beginning to the end of this episode. And the thing is, you can see the point of view for both of them. And so they really, let's see, they when they toned the show down because of the sickness of Jonas, you think it would just kind of not be interesting, but these people are battling to the very end. And then when it comes to episode 22, I just called it the end. Now that's one thing, they didn't give a name to each episode, which would have been nice if they did, but they didn't. It's just episode 22, the last episode. And this is the funeral of all funerals. This is where Black Americans and Africans are really the same when it comes to saying goodbye to someone that you know in your family. This funeral was wild. And it just reminds me that, a lot of people, Black people do funerals so good. They like them. I personally can't really deal with them because I'm very emotional, because I'm the person, I don't want to be in there crying. That's what I do. I cried during this episode too. That's why I don't like to go to funerals, because I will automatically feel the feelings that people have, whether I'm that close to them or not. I would shed a tear probably. But this funeral was the bomb. The African people turned it up. It just looked like a regular Black American funeral. And in part of it, Joyce sang a song that was in, I don't know if it was Nigerian language or African language, whatever it was a different language. And she sang the song, and then they put the translation at the bottom. But they did such a good job of dubbing this that you lose track of it being dubbed. There's very seldom there's really anything that's off on the dub. They whoever is speaking the voices, they did an A+ job, because you just lose track of this being a dubbed show. That doesn't even hurt it at all. It just enhances it. And they're consistent. And then so she sang a song, and then they gave you the words to it. And of course, as she was singing the song, all kind of things was happening during this funeral. And the one thing I can say is that the ending is incredible, because you just didn't expect any of it, especially the last part of it that they went off with. I don't know if you can bring this show back for a second season or not, but if they did, I would watch it. Just like I'll watch Beauty in Black when it comes back. And I would not compare these two to each other, because they are totally different and very good on both of them. So I've seen some people trying to compare Beauty in Black to this show for this. And so I thought The Polygamist was an A++ show. The ending is fantastic, and it's totally frustrating. But it's just so real. I can see this happening into a regular funeral here in the United States. This is emotional family members, and the thing about the polygamist part, we have that in America, but it's usually just people not marrying each other, but just having affairs with each other, and the families getting tangled up that way. But this is the first time I've ever seen a show based on polygamy. So they're bringing a whole nother world to the American audience, because this is out of our realm, but we understand it. We understand the jealousy. We understand the trickery. We understand the seduction of the men and women in this. So they struck a nerve. So I've been enjoying watching other people's videos, and everybody seems to just be transfixed with this. This is something that we just haven't thought of, and this is from what I understand, this is, I don't know if it's common, but it's often in the African community or Nigerian community. So we really didn't quite, this when it first started, we're like, now is this a joke? Marrying 3 people, possibly more. And it's just that good. It just makes you think. So I recommend this show to anybody that wants some drama. I just got through with Beauty in Black, and I didn't think I'd have any more drama till the 3rd season comes out. But this was very satisfying in between. So go ahead and check this out. And let me tell you, those last 2 episodes, even though they calmed down from the first 14 shows, it was just really fantastic about the last shows, the way they turned it down, but turned it back up on just the way the people were acting and feeling because of the situation that was happening to them in the last episodes. You get the feeling that I liked it. I did. Okay, I'm going to go and say thank you for dropping in. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And I will see you again. If something else comes up about this, I'll let you know. And so, have a good day. Take care.